up and I rolled out of bed. Got dressed and I left at 10. Check my nails, looking good. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Oh yeah, I know this'll be the day. Oh, yeah. Everything will be okay. Oh, yeah. I kiss my cares all away. Oh, yeah. It's gonna be a good, good day. It's gonna be a good, good day. Good, good day. Hey. I think it's finally all gonna go my way. Go my way. Rain or shine, no, I don't mind. This day is mine. I'm gonna chase all those gray clouds away. It's gonna be a good day. Cry myself to sleep and thinking better days are a far off dream. Get up and I move my feet, cause I hear music playing on these streets. Oh yeah. Ain't nobody gonna cry today. Oh, yeah. Ain't nobody gonna die today. Oh, yeah. I kiss my cares all away. Oh, yeah. It's gonna be a good, good day. It's gonna be a good, good day. Good, good day. Gonna be a good, good day. I think it's finally all gonna go my way. Be a good day. It's beautiful. It's gonna be a good day. No more crying myself to sleep and thinking better days are a far off dream. Get up and I move my feet, cause I hear music playing. It's gonna be a good, good day. It's gonna be a good, good day. Good, good day. I think it's finally all dressed and I left at 10. Check my nails, looking good. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Oh yeah, I know this'll be the day. Oh, yeah. Everything will be okay. Oh, yeah. I kiss my cares all away. Oh, yeah. It's gonna be a good, good day. It's gonna be a good, good day. Good, good day. Hey. I think it's finally all gonna go my way. Go my way. Rain or shine, no, I don't mind. This day is mine. I'm gonna chase all those gray clouds away. It's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good day. No more crying myself to sleep and thinking better days are a far off dream. Get up and I move my feet, cause I hear music playing on these streets. Oh yeah. Ain't nobody gonna cry today. Oh, yeah. Ain't nobody gonna die today. Oh, yeah. I kiss my cares all away. Oh, yeah. It's gonna be a good, good day. It's gonna be a good, good day. Good, good day. Gonna be a good, good day. I think it's finally all gonna go my way. Rain or shine, no, I don't mind. This day is mine. I'm gonna chase all those gray clouds away. It's gonna be a good day. It's beautiful. It's gonna be a good day. No more crying myself to sleep and thinking better days are a far off dream. Get up and I move my
Hello.
Good morning.
To see everybody on an agent in-person dinner tonight.
Dinner at our McKinney property. We're going to have brisket tacos, Taco Tuesday. Bring your kids, bring your wife, bring your husband, and come on over. 6:30. It'll be fun. As always.
Very good.
Yeah. So come on over and have some fun.
Topics for today are going to be DSCR, debt service coverage ratio, and tips for getting your offer accepted by Shana.
We have some news to share with you guys that have, some of our agents have been successful at getting their offers accepted. So we want to share it with you, and maybe you have the same success.
Very good.
Yeah.
And yesterday we talked about NFTs and what's going on there. And it was interesting because I was actually on ESPN last night.com, and I was just looking. I was trying to find out when the Mavs played next, and I clicked under basketball, NBA, and I think the second article that came up was Steph Curry sold NFTs and raised $2.1 million for NFTs for his three-pointers made during his career.
Come on.
And he was doing physical things in the real world for what was purchased there. And people, I think, paid $6,000 per NFT. And then the ones that were certain ones that got prizes, he gave trips to come see them in games.
I would like to know who these people are.
I have no earthly idea, but it's a thing.
And Omkar talked about the very first tweet. Wasn't that
the very first tweet sold for a bunch?
The very first tweet, but was it an NFT?
Yeah. They made it into an NFT. I don't know how, why, or what, but anyways. So those are real
I have an Audi
things.
to sell. NFT. I'm gonna NFT it.
Okay. Sounds great to me. But these are different times, and there's interesting things going on, and the world is changing rapidly, very, very quickly.
So hop on board.
Yeah, you don't want to get left behind. Let's
behind.
not miss this train. So debt service coverage ratio is first, and we'll get to that topic.
Yep.
And then tips for getting your offers accepted. Thank you guys for joining us in. I see a lot of people are attending today, so that's really good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Great.
It's important. You're setting your routine.
You are. Which, it's helping your business.
It certainly is.
Right?
We're ready to get started.
All right.
Debt service coverage ratio, also known as DSCR, right? We're going to go ahead and explain what this happens to mean in lending terms.
Okay.
And how it's helping out landlords, owners of the property, get loans done differently than they traditionally would have in the past. And it's kind of using commercial loans for residential purposes.
For a purchase?
It's changing the dynamics of how this all goes on.
All right.
Okay. So it's a little bit different. And it's all about like investments and how you can use retirement funds and you can diversify into this. But DSCR is a concept.
Okay.
All right. So what we're going to do is first start with what it means.
Okay.
DSCR is debt service coverage ratio. DSCR, debt service coverage ratio.
Yep.
Okay. So what that means is there's a debt amount. So I'm going to use some numbers for people, and this is specifically talking about investment properties. If you're purchasing something as an investment property.
Okay.
What you're going to have is how much income comes in on a monthly basis.
Right.
And what your expense is for that property.
Okay.
And that's your debt service coverage ratio. So I'm going to use a really simple basic number and say that the amount of income that comes in is $1,000 a month. So it's like a rounded number.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So if $1,000 comes in, and so your income's $1,000.
Right.
And then you have expenses related to the property.
Okay.
Right. And the expenses would be everything that adds up to it. If it adds up to $500, for example,
Yep.
then your debt service coverage ratio is 500 divided by 1,000, or 50% would be your DSCR.
Okay.
It's income, expenses, it's a ratio.
Okay.
Debt service coverage ratio.
Got it.
Okay. And in that, what happens is you're able to get a loan based on the coverage ratio for the
Okay.
property. It's a commercial loan, but it has to do with income and expenses specifically just for that property,
Okay.
not anything else to do with the actual borrower.
So that's so it's like the DTI, but
It's just for that property,
okay,
yes.
just
extremely
for a
similar.
property. Okay.
So DTI is debt to income ratio, but that's for the whole, it's for an individual,
Right.
and it would talk about all of their debt and how much they have to pay that is a minimum obligation on a monthly basis, and income, how much they make divided by 12, and that's their income ratio.
Okay.
And then you have front and back end ratios for those.
Okay.
And this is exactly the same, except it has to do with the coverage ratio for the property. DSCR is how much you owe every month over how much you bring in.
Not how much the property's worth.
Nothing to do with that.
Nothing to do with that. Okay. So
Has
alright.
nothing to do with that, but it's really what it's worth because that's what the rental rate is. That is
Okay.
bringing in each month.
are your expenses? So the expenses such as
Everything's included there. So in that 500
payment or whatever.
Yep. So in that 500, what they would do is they would include everything in there. So I simplified it and just said it was 500. But what would happen is it would include your taxes, your utilities, a vacancy factor. It would also include things like a realtor or expenses to release it,
Okay.
the property. So in that 500, in this fictitious 500, it includes all of those things.
Okay.
Plus your mortgage, if
Okay.
you have one, right? So it adds up all those numbers. So that would be the $500.
So tell me how the loan works then.
So how the loan works is they base it only on the property. Nothing to do with your personal stuff.
So
It's only property
crazy.
specific.
okay.
So it doesn't matter if you own 17 other properties. It
So if
doesn't
you're
matter
wanting to go
if you
purchase a
own-
property
Yes,
and they're going to look at only the property.
only the property.
Okay.
Debt service coverage ratio. But for it to actually work, it all comes down to the same things. It's a different word on the same thing.
Right.
Is you got to put money down. Debt service coverage ratio. And what has to happen is property has to be in the right balance.
Right.
So if you have enough money down, then your debt service coverage ratio is going to be correct to get it to work,
Okay.
right? Or the property appreciated and went up in value and your expenses stayed the same.
So I'm just thinking like who this would benefit right now because I think people are purchasing at the high and I don't know that their rental.
So where it would be, so let me give you an example of where
Okay.
this would help somebody out. Would
seems out of
be,
balance.
so what this would be is if somebody purchased a home 2 years ago that they're renting out,
Yeah.
right? Then the rental rates went up, and now the debt service coverage ratio would be in proper order.
Or they paid cash for it a long time ago and now
Oh
they
yeah,
wanna,
if they paid cash and they want to do a refinance
yeah,
and
I
take
think
cash
that
out,
would, yeah, while the
And
rates
maybe
are
buy two of
relatively
them.
low right now.
buy 2 properties or
Keep your
something like
cash.
that.
Right. Okay. All
There's
right.
all different ways to do it, but what it is it's basically taking the liability and it's putting it just on that property.
So this would be good if you do have, an investor or someone that you know that owns multiple properties to just throw this out there and tell them to check it out because
Yep, there's
a way
an
for them
article for
Oh,
this,
yeah.
so we're going to go ahead and share this article and put it out there. The landlord loan that is taking the market by storm.
so
Debt service coverage ratio.
when you do it with
We're gonna chat
when
this
you
in
get
as
the
well.
loan from a local bank, you have so many more obstacles to overcome, right? And they typically want you to put 30% down or 40% down
Well,
at times.
possibly. In a typical world, the local investor is supposed to know the market better and is supposed to know like the pockets and is supposed to, in theory, be motivated to do business locally versus nationally.
Right.
And so the local bank's supposed to be able to help out a little bit more. So let's take a look at this article and scroll down through this, Omkar, if we can.
So we would go to a commercial lender for this.
Yes, this is a commercial loan.
Okay.
And there we go. So it is to do with 1 to 4 family rental properties.
Okay.
It's until recently, but it can be used for different things. Right?
Yep. And that's good because it states in here investors are often self-employed. Their tax returns are difficult to really match up. So
Yes.
this is helpful.
Yep.
Super helpful. Okay.
Yes.
Great.
So it just cuts through some things.
Right.
So if you have an investor, this is a term to know and to understand. So I would take a couple of minutes, research it, click on the link, look through what's going on here, and do some of your own independent research and be familiar with the concept of DSCR, or debt service coverage ratio. Okay.
Good.
And the benefits
know.
as it relates to it. So you as an agent are a little bit more aware.
Right.
If somebody brings up a concept and you know about it, it's going to help you out.
Yeah.
That's the whole idea. And we're trying to bring new words, new phrases to you guys all the time.
Well, if you hear, wow,
So you're on
I'd
top
love
of
to buy
things.
this property, however, I can't because, then
And that
throw this out there.
Yes, and where that comes into play is when a person, like self-employed people, are perfect examples that they write stuff off.
That's all
so
of
their
us.
income doesn't jive with how much they spend on a monthly basis
Right.
because they write it off and expense it. Right? So that is an example of where this would be possible.
Okay. Do you see this changing in residential lending? That maybe this is going to be like from a residential standpoint, that they'll look at appreciation of the home instead of individual qualifying, that it's more of a property. I don't know, just talking out loud.
Yeah, they base the thing on loans are based on property.
They are, the
and
appraisals.
the collateral. So that's called the collateral.
Right.
And then it's based on who's guaranteeing it. Right? So that's who has the obligation to repay.
Right.
Is that other thing. But they do base it on collateral.
Yeah.
And they have to make sure the collateral is good and safe and secure. And in the scenarios where the collateral is very substantial, then they will overlook who the individual is or things that are on there when the collateral is very, very safe.
Right.
So, for example, if you have a 50% loan, then they don't care as much about who the person is because the collateral is so good that if there's a problem, they can take it back and not have a problem.
Yeah.
So,
But it weighs heavier on the qualification of the person because they could always make up a difference if the lender says, it's subject to an appraisal and it comes in low, they have the ability to pay the difference. But they have to get there by their personal qualifying.
yep.
Okay?
All right. That is DSCR. We'll go to That's a Wrap today. Just today. Well, that's going to be a wrap for today. We're going to keep tips for getting offers accepted till tomorrow.
Yes, we are.
I felt we would need enough time to kind of cover that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. We
do
definitely
that.
want to talk about that in depth. It's important.
thank you guys for joining us. Reminder to see you tonight.
I'm excited.
6:30.
See you guys tonight.
It is BYOB, and bring your own kids, bring your own spouse.
BYOK, BYOS, spouse,
Yes, it's a lot of BYOs.
beverage, but not food. We're going to have food.
And we have chairs and tables, so that's
Yeah.
nice.
You can actually sit down.
Yep. You
And
can
eat,
also
not
bring your own
stand.
chair if you want.
You could.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. See you guys tonight.
dressed and I left at 10. Check my nails, looking good. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Oh yeah, I know this'll be